Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my piratical den. Today we're talking about Raphael Sabatini's Captain Blood. Raphael Sabatini was born in 1875 and he died in 1950. And we're going to talk about Captain Blood today because I am really excited because I acquired the Fleetway reprint edition of the Captain Blood comic books from England from the 1950s, and I'm gonna take a look at that with you. It's wonderful, really wonderful. But for those of you who haven't read Captain Blood yet, this is the Captain Blood was 1922. It was a bestseller. It remains in print. This is a Grosset and Dunlap reprint from the 30s. Here is a more modern edition with Errol Flynn and Olivia de Havilland. On the cover, most of you have probably seen the film, which is a great film. I don't believe it's on Blu-ray yet, but Warner Archives has been doing a lot of Errol Flynn releases to Blu-ray lately, so maybe they'll get to it. The last one I saw was The Master of Ballantrae, is coming out soon. Captain Blood, I own multiple editions of it. It's a great book. It's easy to read. It's not one of those ponderous Victorian books. It's really a pretty well done book. Here is a 1950s, early 1950s, maybe late 40s pocketbooks edition, which I really enjoy having this. I love the artwork on this. Artwork's a big deal with me because I'm a comic book fan. So, you look at cover artwork, and if it strikes a chord with you, you buy the book. Captain Blood is widely available in multiple editions. If you're looking to read it and you haven't, Sabatini is worth your time. I'm just talking about Captain Blood today. I've read and have multiple other titles of Sabatini. Here's a more modern paperback, which had a fold-out cover. What was the year on this? I'm just curious. This must be the 70s. I would think it was the 70s because it looks like the 70s. Yeah, this is a 1976. So lots of editions of Captain Blood out there by Sabatini. Now, Sabatini published Captain Blood in 1922. He wrote two more books, but they were not novels. They were collections of short stories that he strung them together so it reads kind of like a novel. You can look at it that way. Captain Blood Returns was 1931, and this is a 1960s. Let's take a look at the date here. This is kind of a hot one to have because this is 63, and Robert McGinnis did the cover artwork that makes this a collector's item. Now, we have to talk about this for a moment. Is it scarce? Is it rare? Which is which? I've talked to professional book dealers and rare book collectors, and the issue with this is it's collectible because McGinnis did the cover, but it had a low print run, so it's not exactly rare or scarce. It's just people hang on to them. Just before I started filming this, I looked at eBay and I saw several copies for sale for reasonable prices. Now that changes with this edition because I've seen it for $50, $75. Generally right now I think I'm looking at $15, $20. I don't remember, probably cheaper. So it comes and goes as far as its pricing on the aftermarket. But because McGinnis did the cover, as I said, McGinnis fans would be interested in Captain Blood Returns from 1931. And then he did another one. Another collection of stories he strung together, and this was made into a movie. This was The Fortunes of Captain Blood, which came out in 36. This is the paperback issue from Popular Library to coincide with the Columbia Pictures production with Lewis Hayward. Let's talk about Lewis Hayward for a moment. So we're going to I just have to mention a couple things about Lewis Hayward. And I'll have some scans, a few scans, not many coming up about Lewis Hayward. So he was a film actor. He was born in 1909, 1985 is when he died. He appeared in a couple of swashbucklers. He appeared in a lot of movies in there. He was great in all of them. But he had a couple of adventure films starting in the 30s where he was really a shining star. The Man in the Iron Mask from 1939. And by the way, 1939 is generally considered to be the greatest year for Hollywood's golden age. And if you take a look at all of the films that were released in 1939, I think you get the idea. It probably was the greatest year. So he appeared in The Man in the Iron Mask. Then he appeared in The Son of Monte Cristo in 1940. Return of Monte Cristo in 46. The Black Arrow in 1948, based upon the novel, the neglected novel, the great novel by Robert Louis Stevenson. I have a Robert Louis Stevenson episode coming up, which I filmed in Edinburgh, and I followed in his footsteps. I hope you enjoy that when it airs. It airs on his birthday, I think November 13th. All right, so then he appeared in The Pirates of Capri. I think this was made in Italy, 49. Then he appeared in The Fortunes of Captain Blood, and it's a pretty good film. Now, he played Captain Blood again in 1952 in a movie called Captain Pirate. So outside of Errol Flynn, Errol Flynn only played Captain Blood once. We have Lewis Hayward did 2 takes on Captain Blood. And he is a forgotten actor, and these are generally forgotten films. I believe you can find all of these and many more films he appeared in on YouTube, streaming for free. Interesting piece of trivia about Mr. Lewis Hayward, who is, again, he's sadly forgotten actor. I always liked him in these early films. He was great. In World War II, he joined the United States Marines. Yes, that tells you a lot about his character. And he became a combat photographer, and he filmed the Battle of Tarawa, which was released as a documentary and won an Academy Award. Lewis Hayward had a fascinating career and a fascinating life. He was married to Ida Lupino, the actress. Some of you Hollywood buffs will know who she is. I just wanted to mention that because I think it's sad sometimes when you have actors like Lewis Hayward who made these films. These were great movies, and he's not really a point of nostalgia for people today. The films are really good. If you get a chance, check them out on YouTube or find them streaming if you can. All right, so Captain Blood. I'm obviously an Errol Flynn fan. Big surprise there. This poster you see over here is the Belgian window card poster from late 30s, I believe. And it's an original, and the Belgian posters, for those of you who are movie poster collectors, you understand that the Belgian posters were and are highly prized by collectors. This has not been linen backed. I simply framed it 25, 30 years ago, and it's been like that ever since. I do keep it out of the sunlight. So Errol Flynn's film is obviously well known. I wish it would come out in Blu-ray. And then, maybe some of you will be interested in Lewis Hayward. So, with that said, why I'm doing this episode, I'm so excited. All right, so Fleetway, Picture Library, Fleetway comics came out in, the 50s, 60s, I don't know how long they ran, and they were digest comic books, and they were great. I don't have any of the Captain Blood titles, but they were reprinted in this beautiful hardback by Book Palace, bookpalace.com. You can look for this stuff. And this reprints a lot of the Captain Blood interpretations and a few other things as well. So we're going to go through this one, and I have another one too. This is 2023. This is a hardcover. It cost me a pretty penny. So yes, these are expensive, and these were, I understand, a limited print run on this stuff too. I'm not sure. I wish they would do more of these. So check out bookpalace.com. All right, so in here we have 4 comic books reprinted in their entirety. And these date from 1953 to 1957. First up is Captain Blood, with artwork by Claude Edward Drury. Then we have The Black Swan, which was another Sabatini novel, which is also great. And this comic book had artwork by Robert Forrest. And then The Chronicles of Captain Blood, artwork also by Robert Forrest. This is an interpretation in general of Captain Blood. And then you have Captain Blood Sales, again, another Sabatini interpretation, with art by Guido Buzelli. All right, so I'm going to show you. I'll have some scans popping up. These were black and white comic books. The artwork is breathtaking in this. And again, I'll have some scans. I tried to take some pictures with good lighting for you to pop up on some of this material. I really like the story. The writing is good. The artwork is fantastic. Black and white inked pages and lots of words. This is when comic books were not simplified. You know, the UK is a different market entirely for educated, literate people who, not to say that that doesn't happen in the United States, but it seems to be happening less often, does it not? And I really loved it. Okay, so this was 2023. Here's the title page. And there's an introduction in here by Norman Wright, which puts the collection into this proper perspective. I have to tell you, I enjoyed this, reading this. I sat down and I read it in 2 evenings, and I enjoyed this more than any comic book put out by Marvel or DC in the last decades and decades, since I've read anything that really struck me as popcorn entertainment. And this is popcorn entertainment, of course, and there's nothing wrong with that. With artwork that I found at times to be breathtakingly beautiful. I'm so excited I can't speak English. So, anyways, just a fantastic collection here with these comic book interpretations from the United Kingdom, from Book Palace, reprinting these classic comic books in their entirety. It is such a beautiful, here, look at this. You know, I mean, it's just fantastic, and the scripts are really good, and I just loved it, all right? So, you've seen some scans, and I don't know if you agree or not. This is worth whatever price you can get to pay for it. It really is. It's just fantastic. So, all right, so there's another one, though. I actually have more than this, but not related to Sabatini. So there's other episodes coming where I love the Fleetway Digest comic books and any of the comic books from the UK. So there's another one that they put out, Book Palace again, so be sure to check out bookpalace.com. Fleetway Picture Library Classics presents Pirate Tales. Now, the art in here is by several people, and this one gives biographies on the artists. So let's take a look at this. First up, we have, there's 4 of them. We have Rogue's Moon, which is based upon the novel by Robert W. Chambers. I have to tell you, Robert W. Chambers, you're familiar with him as the author of The King in Yellow, which is a book that I don't think is particularly good, and it's certainly overrated. And I've read Rogue's Moon by Robert W. Chambers. I have a copy of it around here somewhere, and I think it's just okay. He's not my favorite author, but the comic book interpretation is great because the artwork is so good. So that's the first interpretation. Then we have, and Philip Mendoza did the artwork for Rogue's Moon. Captain Kidd and the Spanish Main. Also, these are all Thriller Picture Library, Fleetway publications. Reg Bunn did the artwork there. Then we have The Seahawk, a Sabatini novel. Also became an Errol Flynn movie. The Errol Flynn film does not resemble the novel. They took the title and the name Sabatini. He was so popular by this point, by 1940, that anything with Sabatini's name on it would sell, so they are capitalizing on Sabatini's fame and Errol Flynn's fame, and they put together actually extremely loosely adapted from the novel by Sabatini. It really doesn't resemble the novel at all. With Errol Flynn, one of the greatest swashbuckler films ever made. And that's because they had a really good script. The script, by the way, on The Seahawk has been published. And then we have Fortunes of Captain Blood, based upon Sabatini's collection. And the artwork there is John Miller Wyatt. Now, this collection came out, I think, in 2020. And it gives bios on the artists. And the same thing applies here to the artwork with these different artists. And one or two are the same from the other collection. The stories are well written, and they're a lot of fun to read. Just really, again, extremely enjoyable to read these comics and look at these beautiful black and white illustrations. I just really had a great time with this. And it's been a long time since I've read comic books that I've really enjoyed. I do buy some Marvel and DC these days. I think some of them are okay. But, you have, look at this one here. Look at this intricate artwork on here, and that's from the Fortunes of Captain Blood. Just beautifully done, just timeless, beautiful illustrations, and not the comic book style of superhero artwork today. We're looking at a completely different stylistic approach to storytelling with these wonderful books, and I can't praise it enough. I could go on for another 25 minutes, but you're probably clicking ahead already. If you get a chance to pick these up, bookpalace.com, Book Palace Books, see what you can get. I don't know. I believe this is published out of London. So the tariffs are kicking in, and what's going to happen now? What is happening now is if you buy something on eBay from a UK dealer, you'll pay your price, and then when it gets here, the post office is going to hold that book, and you have to go pay a tariff. The tariffs will be dependent upon the declared value of the book, and so forth. It's a shame that's happening because there's a lot of stuff being published and available from the UK that people are not buying right now because of those tariffs. But I managed to get these. I did not pay tariff fees for these because I bought them separately from that. Wonderful material for you comic book fans is to get this stuff and enjoy it. Enjoy the popcorn. Get a bowl of popcorn, read the books, and have a lot of fun with these classic interpretations of the great Raphael Sabatini and his Captain Blood trilogy. Thank you, my friends, for watching. Please stay well, stay happy, feed your brains, read a book. Oh.